Good evening and welcome. So it's Sunday and it's Factorio Day, and we see a few more people streaming in here. We have a first time chatter, welcome. The odd one. First time watching the stream of Nilaus, new player here, so for sure this will be way over my head. Not necessarily. I mean, if you watch a game of football and you can understand what's going on, it's just that you can't probably play on that level. Maybe that's how you feel.
Welcome home.
Hello, Guy in the Cube. Also good to see you. And Catherine, thank you for the 11 months of Prime. Much appreciated. And Candyman with the 15 months. Nice.
Our illustrious
We were there at one point. Yes, we were all there at one point. Actually, let's have a look at my Factorio. 9,039.4 hours. So, you know, that's something. Draco Falcone, thank you for the 8 months.
Welcome home.
Yeah, so, while the resubs are flowing in from people who come here once a week when we stream Factorio, then let's have a little talk. I know there's not a lot of people that are watching Factorio back in September 2020. The Corona crew. The Colonel, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Yeah, so let's give our Wayne June some work to do. Yes, let's do. Yeah. Yeah, so I do realize that a lot of people are just coming here for the Factorio sessions because I can see the stream numbers. And yeah. So I'm in a really mixed position. I'm actually thinking I should do a YouTube channel update. So I'm gonna sort of put out some feelers now on sort of or do a trial run of what I want to say, and then it'll be a little bit more crisp, and then you can ask questions and stuff. So one more sub, then we have a little pre-stream train going. Feeling good, PC Craft? Yes. As well as the thing is, like right now, there's a lot of things happening in my real life, both romantically and familial, parental. So, hey, Euronymous, thank you for the 200 bits. So it's taking a little more attention and getting me a little bit more distracted than I'd like. But, whoa, kind of cute. Thank you for gifting 10 subs.
More shall enter the fray.
No, definitely not. The fact that you say that just kind of, yeah, no. Okay, so I have been simultaneously feeling really good and really bad about content creation lately. And it's always interesting when you have this mixed feeling where something both feels good and feels bad at the same time. I disconnect for 30 seconds, I'm already missing the juicy stuff. No, not the juicy stuff. But then you know, don't disconnect for 30 seconds. There you go. That's it. Right, so how does it, what do I mean by saying that I feel both good and bad about the content creation? Not just streaming, but content creation. Like, obviously, I'm not really creating YouTube videos lately, and there is an incredible drought of interesting stuff to create content for. And sure, I could create content for, I don't know, Hollow Knight, Silksong, whatever, but it wouldn't be popular, and it wouldn't really make sense, so I'm kind of, yeah, you know. Then I've been sort of thinking, oh, well, then maybe I should just do Foundry or something, because there was a new update of Foundry. It doesn't really do anything. It's just like better terraforming, so it's not really different gameplay. And you know, like other games that sort of, oh, but I could then. But if I'm not really sort of feeling it, then it'll just be filler content. So there is, from an external side, there is a drought, and that drought just affects me in a way that I'm sort of, okay, then what should I do? And what I've done, as you probably have noticed, is less. And I think that's the right thing to do in a, yeah, so I'm usually saying that I'm sometimes when I describe what I do, then I say I'm basically selling Christmas trees. So I don't dictate when there's a demand for it, but when there's a demand for it, I have to work a lot. But no matter how much I work, I'm not going to sell Christmas trees in August. And this is kind of how it works. So when there's a good game that fits with my categories and my genres and what you expect from me, then sure, I'll jump in and I'll work a lot and I'll crank out videos and live streams and all that stuff. But when that's not the case, like, what am I going to do then? can do Factorio Masterclass, and I enjoy doing that and these Sunday streams. But what about the rest of the time? Well, I'm not going to be streaming very much, obviously, because there is really nothing there, and then I should be going into then I stream other games, and this is what I've been doing for the last month and a half or 2 months, maybe even, like with Hollow Knight and then Silksong, which I really enjoyed. And this comes back to this is when I'm really enjoying it. Oh, by the way, that you're okay to subscribe while I'm talking. That was kind of the point, that it's okay to subscribe while I'm talking. That's so you don't have to sit all quiet there. You don't have to, but you can. Well, there's a train going right now. So it's Anonymous, thank you for the 5 gift subs.
Proliferate.
It was more like the occasional resub that I'm sure someone's sitting in. Not shortage of factory games, just shortage of good factory games. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm blind to the not interesting ones. It does have a certain theme to it, or sort of. It has to have a certain level before I even sort of consider it. Butter, thank you for the 20 subs. Thank you so much. Now I missed Isolde's interesting point, which is hitting a little bit of a sore spot. There's 2 different things for me: the content creation side and the community building side. Yes. And you have public for both. Public? Yeah, thank you so much, Otterbutter. Making strides on the leaderboard for this month. Right, so what I don't like about it is, of course, that I feel that I'm not living up to your expectations in terms of sort of, hey, and not only you, but also like the moderators, for example, or the core members of the team. Like, am I really doing enough to sort of warrant this? Whoa! Guided Cube, thank you, 11 subs. Completing level 3. CB Gamers, there's a gap when it comes to quality build videos on YouTube. Lots of explanations, but no types like yours explaining how to use, how to come up with good builds. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's nice, because it's kind of also the niche that I have, is that let's do designs together, and then you can go like, oh, that's a clever idea. Oh man, that just fits perfectly. That's cool. I'm not going to do that, or I'm just going to copy it, or I'm going to be inspired by this way of thinking, or something like that, which is kind of the point. So I'm both in a little bit of an, imposter syndrome is something that us content creators are hit by a lot, because it's like, why are people tuning in? I'm not really doing anything. When will they realize that I don't offer anything interesting? And then subs and patron supporters, and I'm like, oh, when will they realize that I'm a fraud? I'm not really doing anything. I'm just an old guy playing video games. That's kind of, I think most if not all content creators, well, not all definitely, but a lot of content creators are hit by this imposter syndrome, and it comes and goes. And especially when I'm just cranking out videos and coming up with new cool things right as Factorio hit, then I see my value. But is Aquilo, what? Did I misspell something? Did I misspell it? Oh, I did. Ha! Interesting. Nope, that's just my W key. Need a new keyboard. I have imposter syndrome at work. I think so too. I don't think that you have. I think that's also very common. So just voicing it here, then maybe someone can resonate with that. Grimwald Gaming, thank you for the 4 months of Prime. Here for the real talk, the game is just a bonus. Nice. I mean, I wish I could do that more. So anyway, so there's this nagging feeling that I'm not doing enough, sort of both from a perspective of, if I'm sort of winding down, will people just go away, or is it sort of like the dying, there's the slow death of something, and because there's a lot of things, like I haven't done new emotes, for example. I haven't done a 24-hour stream. I haven't done charity streams. There's a lot of sort of community building stuff that I haven't done. And thank you, TH Birdman, for, what's it, 10 gift subs. Thank you so much. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I could do, also collaboration with other content creators. You know, there's a lot of community things that I choose not to do. And I always think about it like, oh, should I? And then I'm like, but I don't want to. Like, imagine collaborating with another content creator. Right? In that cut to the bone, are you even good enough to have imposter syndrome? Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Yes, that's good. Always a value number of people who can perceive that value may change, but the value itself will never go away. Well, that's very kind of you. I just don't. I think. Thank you for the compliment. I just don't think that's real. That's true. But I appreciate it. I take it as a compliment, but I don't have to agree with the assertion. 60 seconds left on the train for on a beautiful halfway through level 4 or halfway to level 4. 14 subs to get us there. Right. So. So what am I going to do? Well, for the last couple of months, I have accepted it, and I have been streaming the games that I want, which is something I have really enjoyed. I have really enjoyed getting into Hollow Knight, being slightly less awful at it. Last seconds, 30 seconds left. Don't wait until the last seconds if you want to join in. And this has been awesome. It's been super fun to join. With the sound of 32 rockets launching on broadcast. Okay, yeah. So I have been accepting that this is what I do, and just kind of looking at the numbers going down on Twitch and going down on YouTube, and just going, well, that's not great. Not so much going down on. Oh, that was the hype train. Thank you very much for the level 3 hype train. Beautiful train going in before we even got started on the stream. Nice. Right. So I've been thinking, is this sustainable? That's the next part of it. Like, can I keep doing this until Dyson Sphere comes out with something, and then I'm just gonna be all over that for 2-3 months, and in the meantime I'll just play a little bit of this, and like the next game that comes out is gonna be Pax Romana, Anno something, and it's gonna be a fun little game, but it's not gonna be a game that I can add anything particular to, right? It's gonna be, we're playing it, we're having fun, we'll do a playthrough, and it'll be enjoyable, but it won't be like, okay, look at this. This is how to structure your whatever city blocks in ancient Rome. Like it just doesn't. It doesn't have the depth to do that. It won't replace Factorio. Of course, it won't replace Factorio, but it's not going to be a game that can sort of have as much weight as the other main games of the channel, which is totally fine. So, I was thinking of you to use your Masterclass blueprint for spaces. I love rebuilding everything with your base in the book. Now, I was wondering if you have blueprints in the Masterclass for trains, load unlock stations, automated. I can't remember. If you're Patreon supporters, then check it out. I don't remember that. So I don't remember, because trains are just not that interesting anymore. So, and there's nothing really. I do have train stations. Yes, I do have train stations, and the train setup is the same as I always do. So I didn't sort of redo it. Yeah. So it's all I ask the core question. Is your core community big enough to support you until that happens? That would be my question. Yes. And it's the thing, right? This is the beauty of Patreon. This is why I love Patreon so much, and so much more than Twitch and YouTube, is that me scaling down on number of streams and the popularity of the content on stream and number of YouTube have a massive impact on my Twitch and YouTube numbers. Of course, like, they're half of what they were this spring, and the spring was half of what it was last when Factorio just hit, something like that. Like, it is nothing. So if that was the only thing, then I couldn't live off of it. But the Patreon thing doesn't go away as fast. Thank you for that. And there's also going to be, like, continuous deliveries of stuff for patrons with the new save games and new blueprints for Factorio, which is kind of what most people are there for. So, and a lot of stuff is sort of pledged on a yearly or annual basis, so it doesn't sort of go away immediately. And that means that this gives me the stability to be doing unpopular stuff on YouTube and Twitch for a while. But of course, this is not like a permanent thing. This is like a band that has a Christmas hit. That's fine. You're raking in royalties, but you know, at some point, that's kind of not as much, and it's gonna get less and less every year. And if you don't do something new, maybe you could live off of it on your Christmas carol here, but for some years. But you know, you gotta add something new to the repertoire, and that's kind of how I feel, right? That's the risk I'm looking at. They're like, yeah, sure, just because it's fine now doesn't mean that it's going to continue to be fine if I don't sort of add more stuff. Which is also why I had this meeting with an independent financial consultant to sort of look at my finances and just to investments and stuff like that, just to see like what does it actually look like, because I don't have a pension anymore. Like, that's not how it works. Like, usually in Denmark, you pay something into a pension, and your company you work for pays in twice that amount to your pension, which is amazing. And this is how it is. But now I don't have a pension, so I just money in. Look at the cigar box. Is there money for cat food? Yes, good. It's not that bad, all right. So but it's like that kind of okay, how are we doing? And that's the thing, right? I can say, well, it will be Christmas again. So if I'm as a Christmas tree salesman, then there's nothing I can do in April to rack up the numbers. I just have to endure until it's Christmas again, which is kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just waiting for Christmas. The problem is we don't know when Christmas is. The next Christmas will probably be Dyson Sphere program, and then I don't know. Maybe there'll be a little bit of a blip with the Timberborn or Valheim or, you know, stuff like that. But it won't be anything major. So, yeah. I guess modded Factorio runs or death runs are not on the table. Well, they're not on the table because I don't want to. That's the thing, right? Modded Factorio is woefully unpopular. It's not really. It can be a little bit fun, and we can do like gimmicks and stuff. But I just don't think I'm there anymore. This is part of what I really love. I really love the fact that I can stream 2-3 days a week of whatever game I want. I don't care if it's popular or not. And then I have my Factorio on Sundays, where I progress with our blueprints and our designs and stuff like that. And then that's gonna be really enjoyable work for me until something comes along. Because trust me, I've been looking long and hard at Captain of Industry and thinking, should I start up a series for YouTube? And I'll be like, that's a monstrous effort. And I need to be passionate about it, and I'm certainly not passionate about it right now. So I'm super keen on playing Silksong right now. My left hand is not super keen on it, but that's how it is. So I think that the essence is that I kind of want to continue to do this, and then like, I guess you as you speaking to the core members of the community, you realize that there has been a shift over the last half year or year, that there has been less, let's say a year or so, less content. Well, maybe not a year, because last year August was Shapes 2, September was Satisfactory, and October, November, December, January was Factorio. So those were pretty busy last half year, and then now it's sort of coming down from that, and it's a long tail after that. So yeah. and yeah, I'm streaming only 3 days a week. I'd love to stream more, but I'd also love to do the other stuff that I do the other nights. As you know, if you're a common member of the community, rope takes a lot of time in my life, and I very much enjoy it. And so that's something that takes 2 to 3 days a week out of the schedule, or weeknights. So Yeah. So Stream is a good example for me of the content for the community. It was really enjoyable to watch. Thank you, Isolde. I think so. It was very enjoyable to play it as well. It was just very, very few viewers, and that's the problem I have. Are you interested in space exploration? I know I fucking hate space exploration. Nope, it's awful. In my opinion, it's not awful. It's just not for me. Like, it's way too complicated, and complicated and fun are not synonymous in my word. And this is just complicated. This is not fun. This is just complicated. Factorio Space Age is 200 to 500 hours of commitment. Making it 3 times more complicated. Why? Why would you do that? That's not for me. So, not to see a new Timberwolf DSP run. Maybe the new Anno next month. But I know you don't like it. Oh, I love Anno. Gershon, I'm gonna play Anno. But I'm not going to play Timberborn if there's nothing new, because we've done it so many times. I'm not going to play the Dyson Sphere program if there's nothing new. So both Timberborn and Dyson Sphere program are yes, definitely, when something happens. And nothing has happened, so no. I run my own business, 15 employees. I'm definitely not excited about work anymore. I over new challenges and new things, but I'm growing this business to sell, and I'm not there yet, so I still have to go to work. Yeah, but okay, so that's a good example, because I'm quite the contrary. First of all, I'm not growing the business to sell. Second, I don't have employees, I just have myself. So you also have an obligation that there are 15 people who rely on you and your company to make it. So you can't just go like, fuck it, we're gonna run at half speed, because that means you're gonna have to let people go, and you probably don't want to do that unless you absolutely have to. And you're saying you're not really enjoying it anymore. You do it sort of for the objective. This is something that's been at the core of my business, is I must enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, change it so that I enjoy it. This is why there are so many things I just don't do. Like, I don't do collaboration with other content creators because they're all awful, right? They're all of them. They're all fucking awful. It's definitely not me. It's everyone else who is awful. Definitely nothing wrong with me, right? Definitely not. It's everyone else. So, yeah, no introspection here. It's all the other ones. Now, and there's a lot of things like, oh, I could do another Bombs and Biters things, or modded Factorio, or something, or start a new Satisfactory run, because, you know, maybe that's going to be interesting. But I am deliberately not doing the most profitable or most sort of growth oriented for my business. I'm very much sort of, if there's something I like and it works, then I turn it up. If there's something that doesn't work and I don't really enjoy it, then I turn it down. But it's not like, oh, this would be the ideal thing. I should do a collaboration with this person on this game at this time, so that this thing, and then I should participate in this competition to do like, no, because then my heart is not in. So the only Dotson Young, okay. I don't have my Three Musketeers lore up to date. So just came back to Victoria this year, and I'm trying out some of the new streamlined space exploration. Awesome. Welcome, first time chatter. Yeah. Yeah, so this is basically sort of the new situation, and I don't think it's going to change until, let's say, Dyson Sphere comes out. Then there will be games that I really enjoy, and the thing, like, I'm just looking on my Steam library and it says Blueprints. Like, I wish I had a little bit more time for Blueprints on stream, because that was like an absolutely amazing game, and it came out of nowhere. So I am sort of also just I'm also open to just being like wowed by a game that comes out of nowhere, and that's something I'm really just, that could happen anytime, that some game that we haven't heard about, or something that comes out and goes like, yes, this is so cool. So yeah, that'll happen. Megabonk is apparently all the rage now. Probably not my category, but you know, there will always be like the games that have a certain buzz about it, and then we'll play that. Would have played it not for you. It's such an amazing game. It's really, really good. I think it's the best game of 2025 for me. I was kind of stuck at the late game, though the progression it's all working, but when I reach the end game and doing stuff with SNG quality, everything just sucks for some reason. I kind of know what I kind of know what you're saying, because I feel the same way, that there are so many things that are built and you rely on it, but it's becoming unstable ground. So you start building something and go like, why am I running out of this? And then you've dropped down a hole and go, oh my god, am I relying on this thing? And then you have to fix that, and you have to fix that, and then it doesn't really feel like you're progressing. That's at least how I feel the late game is. How about the new Ghost of Tsushima? Are you going to play it? I would love to play it, but I'm playing Silksong, and I don't think my wrist would like more controller games. So yeah, Mode Mancer, and someone also said Alchemy Factory. When is that Alchemy Factory? I think I. Alchemy Factory. When is it? It says on wish list. So November 2025. Release date. It doesn't say when, but just November. Yeah, I think we'll play that. I think that'll be a fun little game to play. And Mode Mancer. Not there. I don't think so. It looks almost there. Problem is, for DSP, it will probably take some time for something new. They just released bigger technical overhaul. But new content seems far away. Yes, Dr. Gonzo. Unfortunately, true. That is true. That's also sort of what I'm seeing from this. But you know, maybe there will be something. We'll get a big update in December. Maybe then. Oh, that's a good point. I think it has like an interesting idea to it, this Mode Mancer. And yeah, I think it's interesting, but I just kind of, you know, this is a perfect game. This game could have been big on my channel if they'd sponsored a stream. If they'd come to me and sponsored a stream, I would have played it. You might have liked it. I would have liked it. We would have made content for it. This is the perfect example of why games should sponsor streams. Not sort of, yeah, just not for the audience, but to get the streamer hooked. Because if the streamer gets hooked, I can get you hooked. Malalords have no interest in me. So yeah, No Man's Sky Power. No, it's not. It's not. Those are not factory games, and it's too far away to just be like, yeah. So anyway, this should not turn into a suggested game, but there will be games coming up suddenly somewhere that just looks interesting, and that's totally fine. And until then, we're just gonna be playing whatever game that I feel is fun, and that's basically how it's gonna be. So if we come up with something on YouTube, then I'll come up with something there. I'm halfway sort of thinking of, or here's another little tangent on content creation. There's always this thing, and I think almost all creators feel this as well. Like, you must be first, or it's too late. And then, for example, I looking at videos on Hollow Knight, for example, like when we played that. Joe, you want to see something for Hollow Knight? Well, then you look at something and it's an 8-year-old game, but maybe this guide is 2 years old. So it's like someone actually, after the game has been out for 6 years, started making guides, and they're really good. But now I still feel like, oh, it's too late to make Silksong guides, for example. But like, well, you know, it isn't. If they're good enough, it's not too late. Like I'm making Factorio Masterclass videos. I remember when I started my Factorio Masterclass, I remember I talked to Catherine or Sky at the time, and I was saying, like, I don't know if it's too late. Maybe I should have started this a couple of years ago. Maybe the game is so saturated or so solved that there isn't room for masterclasses anymore. Right? How ironic it is, because that's been running for 5 years and it's been the single best idea on my channel. I don't agree with that. You have to add your personal spin to the game. What do you mean? There are too many people already making content that being fast first or whatever isn't going to make a difference. Your personal approach does. Yes, exactly. And this is where I have to have something. There has to be something where I can express my style. And this is why guides to how to get this item, how to solve this thing, how to complete this thing in a game, whereas like every player is going to do this. It might be some people have a difficulty with, but everyone will get to the same goal at the end, that they find the item if they want to, and then they can use the item, or they complete this thing, or they find this secret or whatever. And then there isn't really a whole lot of thing that I can add, because it's there. It's there's no creativity in it. It's just hey, you found the item, good for you. How to play games with your fingers hurt. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah. Minimalistic. With your feet, there'll probably be someone with a dance pad. I don't think that's a niche. I love seeing you struggling and overcoming it, because it relates to me as a player. Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate that. But I think that's more of a streamer experience than a YouTube experience, for me at least. And Factorio, I don't know where Cosmos Sky is these days. Again, not doing collaborations. So, anyway, I think we should jump into Factorio. I've been ranting and raving enough, but I just wanted to touch upon this as sort of content creator, a little bit of a serious talk. So, I'd love to hear your feedback. What do you think about it? Like, have you already left and slammed the door? So in that case, you can't leave your feedback. But you know, how does it feel? That one. Good. Ta-da! The ship. Feedback or feedback. Mm-hmm. Will you play main sequence? I think so. The name does ring a bell. That there was like a oops. Main sequence. It says on wish list. It has no. It says coming soon. Yeah. I think we'll play it. I think it's one of those games that look really cool, but when you play it, it is over. I know nothing about it. It's over ambitious and it doesn't quite work. That's kind of what I'm afraid of with this kind of game. That it's over ambitious for the size of the studio, and therefore it's just not really. Nothing is really sort of well thought out. Like, it's easy to say satisfactory in space. That's such an easy catchphrase, but the part that makes Satisfactory good is the attention to detail. Like how real the world feels, how there are scratches in the machines, and how things just I love it. You really feel you're in the world. And when you play other games, oh right, that Soul Rapture was also really good. So Star Rapture, that was really good. That I'm looking forward to. Purchase on track. Yes. Satisfactory has to move to space, maybe. Yeah. Blueberries pie. Yes, that's absolutely correct. So, good. That don't need to go there. I just need to go here. There we go. All right. So we're still working on our stopgap thing on Aquilo. We're just kind of building the first little block of stuff here on Aquilo that we need. Whether you want to do it with this much concrete, it's up to you, but I do. So. Okay. I am curious about your perception of the Silk Song crest system. When I was playing it, I wondered who would play with this crest. This led me to think the majority of people are probably playing with the Reaper crest, as it has the double ward strike. Double ward strike? What is that? Oh yeah, the more silk is insanely good. Double ward strike. Don't know what that. Yeah, I think the crest system is a good idea, but it's so weird. Like, it's so weird that even though it's integrated into the story, then it doesn't really feel. I don't know. I really don't know, because on the one hand I was saying like, oh, it doesn't feel unique enough, but it does feel maybe too unique in some regards. And I think that maybe if the It's the fact that the crest is a whole package. For example, I don't know which one it is, but if you don't have enough blues, it doesn't work. Like, if it has less than 2 blue slots, you can't use it, because blues are the best ones. Jack Banton, thank you for the 67 months. First snow of the year here in Northwest Montana. Oh yeah, well, Northwest Montana is probably, well, out there and playing the snow. So I feel that it's, you get this package deal. So I think people are either using the Hunter, the default, or using the Reaper. And then that's it. I really like the Reaper. Don't like the upstrikes. I think it would be, I don't know if it would be better, but now I'm just thinking like it would be nice if you could choose which downstrike you have, choose which upstrike you have, choose, so it'd be maybe the crests would be on the individual attacks, so you could say, oh, I really love the, I don't know, the engineer's downstrike or something like that, and then you could say, oh, this is what I want, or I really like the hunter's setup, but I really don't dislike the diagonal downstrike, so I want the Reaper's downstrike, but everything else is the hunter, or something like that. That's the thing that, yeah. So I think it's a lot of effort put into something, and there's they're not really balanced out in a good way. So yeah, that's a really creepy sound. Let's kill that. Right. So that was enough of on that one. I think it makes sense, Sebastian. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Let's try this one. This is the one we were working on, just to try to figure out how much. So let's recap this. When we land on Aquilo, the first thing we want to do is we want to build some power, and we want to build some blocks, ice platforms, because those are needed for just, getting things going. And then once we have this, we got that one. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to get some some rocket fuel going so that we can keep it self-contained. For users, you could always rebrand your Factorio videos as meditation, relaxation, ASMR products. Would be a hit. Well, they still are. You can still use them as you like. I don't think I would rebrand it as that, but thank you for that. Great idea. Business idea. Okay. So the next step on our line is actually getting up to this one. Water's fine, ice is fine, but that's okay. There is a monstrous surplus of this. And there's a slight deficit, but that's okay because this process is using it and not going to work. So the question is then, should I build this in a different way? Like, this is using something we have enough of, and infinite basically, right? And this is also just like oil. So maybe all of this is kind of irrelevant. 0.5. It doesn't change much. It actually gets a little bit slower. For the rocket fuel build, I just use water from the power more than enough. Ooh, that's a little iffy, I think, because that means you're suddenly relying on the same source, and yeah, I think I'd like to have it separate. I do understand. I just don't think I like it, since water is not something you just pump out, but you have to process it as ice, and ice only comes from this process. So I kind of want to make sure that it's there. I hope. Okay. Now there's a massive deficit here. I think the right solution would be still. Look at this. It just really wants to have 2 of them. But then this is not fast enough. Like, not even close to fast enough. And then, so if I have this, then I also need another one of these. And it's still not even fast enough. This. And these are not powered off out here. Yeah, so I think that we either build one that has 3 of these into this, or we do one that says, okay, it's just one of each. And then who cares if there's a surplus here? That's fine. First on the liquid bus. Yeah, that's a good point, because then we could do water on the liquid bus. This could be a liquid bus, oil. I'm just a little bit wondering about the liquid bus. Like, what would I want to have on the liquid bus? Why do I have these? Yeah. So we'd have water somehow, and we'd have ammonia, and we would have not this one. Then we'd have. See, I don't think we need fluorine inbound, and this one, because they're like, this is used for literally one thing. There, that's it. This is used for literally one thing. That one. So, since they only have one place to go, it doesn't need to go on a bus, in my opinion. Oil is also used for one thing, so that should not go on a bus either. Water, and that one, and then the hot and cold fluoroketone, I think, right? Yeah, I think those are the ones I need. Okay, so distraction again. Best one with the thoughts and the question. It is summed up with this. I would get a new crest and say, ooh, that is so cool, I want to try it. Oh crap, it has the diagonal strike, so I'm not going to use it. That's the main issue with the choice. To have 2 different types of downward strikes. I really wish they committed to one type, so you could master it and choose a crest based on the stats and builds. Yeah. The beast crest is absolutely junk, because its downstrike is like a rolling forward thing, or you're like, that's completely useless. This is going to be impossible to use for anything. And it might, everything else might be great. It isn't, but it might be great, but it doesn't matter. The downstrike on the Reaper is insanely good, because it's not like on the normal one, it's like a spike diagonal, but on the Reaper, it's like a really good curve. So you just have to be next to it, and then the curve is hitting him, and then that just makes it really convenient to use. Crude oil, well, the crude oil is only used for this one here. So, like, do I really want that to be in just for one thing? Because busing means places that should be used for multiple things. And you know, maybe they're not really used for many things anyway. I don't know, because now this one is also like have its own separate thing. And you could also argue that this would not really, should not be here. This should be on a bus build. But on the other hand, this is something we want to build immediately. So since it is immediate, then I think I want to get it in, sort of squeezing it in the corner here. I wonder if there is or will be a DLC. Will be in a DLC an analogous of Path of Pain that would require you to master movement, all the crests, and switch them to pass different parts of it. Oh, that could be a thing. or you must complete this with this crest or something like that. I think I want to build it like this, right? I don't know about a bus build because let's. Oh, fuck. I'm thinking like there is the moment you land, you just want something going. But then a little bit later, you actually want, hold on, now my base has expanded. I really need more production here. Oh shit, I have to rebuild the whole thing. So it's like this on and off thing, whether I'm going to be building it a little bit too big for the beginning, because then it lasts longer, or I'm going to be building it a little bit too small, and then knowing that I have to rebuild it, and then it's never going to be mega base build, but I just don't think that ultimately 0.5 per second is gonna be a lot. Sabri guy, thank you for 73 months. Yeah, if it's temporary anyway, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's temporary, and I don't know how temporary means. But we are coming here at a time when we have possibility to do rare quality, so having it too small might not be great. Yeah, rebuilding is part of the fun. Yeah. So I think that I want to build it a little bit better than this. So this one is, oops, no. We'll take this and move it a little bit to the side so that it's still there. And this one I can move down there. So let's start the same thing again and then get it a little bit bigger. This is the frustrating part about designing. Like, it's so frustrating looking at the designs when they're frozen. Oh, something came in. So this looks good. Not sure this is gonna work, but I mean, yeah, that one will never be. Oh, that could still. This one will never be able to be done. That's the problem. Yeah, there's no way for this one to be heated. Like this. That has to be directly insert, right? And then you have to go in here. This one, I don't know. Probably not like this. Well, obviously not like this because that's not gonna work. Maybe something like this. This can't get inside this area. But there's something to this. Well, they're powered at least. Oh, well, they're not powered. There you go. So, let's have a look at this. Yeah, not enough down here. That's not a big surprise. .4 per second is like... Is a rocket every 4 minutes? Is that not enough? Probably not. No, for now. Yeah, but it's not for rockets. It's for keeping the base heated. That's the main part, and this is why I need to make sure that I have a decent build. Like, I like this. What am I missing, though? Oil. Oil inbound. No! Oil, no! Damn it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So oil comes out here. Okay. No, then this one doesn't work. Not brilliant with all this. What temperature to keep your block heaters at? 600. It doesn't need to be 600, but the higher it is, the faster it also pushes out. If it's all just like keeping it at 35 degrees, then if the heat, when I attach something new, then it's very slow on heating that up. Circulation for the temperature on power block. Yes, that's true. Thank you. I love the feel of how the heating pipes usually end up turning out like there's something very electronic. Yes, there is. Yeah, because the fact that they can't go, there's no underneath, then it has to sort of go in parallel lines and stuff. It looks nice. But it's also a little, it's frustrating to design with, but no, it's not actually frustrating. It's just, it's an interesting design choice. And I really like that design choice here. Okay, so we're actually getting all of this inner work happy. And then that one can come out here. These could also be heated from the other side. Oh, they also need outbounds though. Where's your outbound? Yeah, it's not on the inside. I would love this to be able to have a common output like this, for example. Would be nice, but no. Maybe. What about something like this? It still hits everything. And then That would still work. And then it would also be able to get this in here. It doesn't change anything whether it's here or there, so might as well do this. Not symmetric though, but is that a problem? Okay, let's have a look at this. Deficit on here, but that's easily solved with... Yeah, that I will call it even. Oh, hold on. This one is still producing twice as much as it needs, and this is using 150, so it actually only needs 70. So I can let this one be 70 too low. There we go. 75 too low. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Ice is definitely enough, and water is also fine. Was hoping to hear about 2.1 this month, but we're still waiting. Yes, absolutely. I feel the same way. I was expecting that as well. Well, I don't know, expecting maybe a little bit too much from Factorio, but hoping, because, you know, it's the anniversary. It's actually an anniversary in 2 days. Well, anniversary for I getting it. It was the 21st that everyone else got it. How are you going to get ice into the smelter? Well, that's this one. That's not really a problem. This one's needed for this one, so. This is the one I'm least happy about. Yeah, throw ice into the sea? Yeah, absolutely. Because this one will also go somewhere. And then that needs to be open as well. So we like this. I think I like it. It needs something inbound here. So let's get that inbound. How could this one be placed there? That doesn't make any sense. Why can't I place this everywhere? There we go. And the oil is out here. Oil comes in. Oh, the ice is... This one should be requesting ice 50, but also saying no more than 100. And then, oh, I don't need to do trash on requested. It'll just work. Whether it's surplus or deficit, it will have a surplus here, so that will just be throwing the surplus out. Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it. This one's happy. This one's not so happy. Why not? Oh, because this one got shifted. Oh no! Does that change? Ah, it changes everything. This is looking fine. This one is slow as hell. Yeah. The heat pipe inside... Oh shit, that's actually true. That's very true. Okay, so this one has to be like that. Or maybe I do both. Output full? Is that because... Oh, no, that's not working then. Wow. Oh, no, it produces 33 per second. There we go. There is another way to do this. Like, just kill some of it. This will just delete 3/4 of it. Which is like completely random. You disconnect the heat again. I know. Wait, that's we can always disconnect it again, but this is not a serious suggestion. This is gonna use 4 per second, so this one should be fine. It is a little problematic that I'm producing so much water from this. Like, the surplus water here is... Like, first of all, I'm producing 33 and I'm only using 4, so this is 29 per second surplus here. That's way too much. So I think this one, should also be able to delete itself. Problem is, how do I do this? Like, I'd love this one to be... It would be nice to have this up here, but then it starts being a very big build. What if this is a little bit different? What if this one inserts into... Oh. This one I need. And I disconnected again. I am aware. But I can connect it if I didn't have this block here in the middle. Yes, that's why. Yep, Aquilo loves long-handed. Yeah, output success if amount of devices over X. Yes. The problem is this part here is big. Right? It needs to be like this. And then we have to go around because then I need some kind of input here. This is not connected. Ah. Whatever with these, but did it like this, right? Will that jam? I don't think it'll ever jam. So this should easily be able to keep up here. And this one just keeps going. So now what? Now I have lost my connectivity again. This one is no longer connected. They're not connected all the way through. Oh. And I'm not sure I like where I'm getting the power from. The power is pretty awful. Is there no way that I can get this power better? Ta-da! There, perfect. Now they're even. Nice. Okay, so is this working? What am I missing? Do the cycles have enable based on connection? No, they don't. Because it's just building so much. There isn't any real way without having two of these. They're just basically deleting. Heat pip, they're not connected. No, they're not connected up and down. Yes, that's true. Which would have to go around this area. Maybe that's actually okay, because then I can... Could I then take... No. It has to have that one in here. Yeah. Which then goes all the way around, which is awful. There's just a lot of awful stuff here. On the other hand, this... Okay, this is actually so... That can be fed from the inside. This cannot be fed from the inside. Oh, okay. I like it. So the reason why I'm not constraining this is because if these are not outputting, then I still have 33 per second output of this one. that I need to deal with. And this one can do like 8, 5, 6 per second or something. So then it will jam if I don't have a way to get rid of it fast enough. Therefore, I will get rid of it. But I could sort of maybe kind of... I'm thinking. I suppose I could have another output that looks like this, right? Just filling this one up. So that I know that I have some, and that's fine. And when this one is full, then just delete this. Axiomatic. Welcome. There's a lot of ickiness about this. Like, this should definitely be the same as that one. Which I can't really do unless I... Well, let's try it. Let's take you out here, just for now. Yeah, maybe this is better. Because now it will fill up this one entirely. So they're all working, which means that if this is producing 33, then it'll be 11, 11, 11 by default going out into these. And nothing is constrained here, so this will definitely be enough. Maybe. Now I could probably... I could take these two and then link it to the content of this box. Not the logistic network, but that box in itself of itself. So this one will only enable when the ice in there is greater than 2,000? 2,000 is there, and then that one. Yeah. And the most important thing, that one and that one. So this is the only one that works until it fills it up. And it's not jamming. So this just guarantees that we have a lot of surplus ice in the network. Great. And then once we have a surplus ice in the network, then these two start just deleting the rest. I think this is a good build. It's a little big, but... no! Can't be down here. So it has to be up here. I think we'll kill the original one because that's no good anymore. So now the next part is, which way is it gonna turn? We should kind of not care about where things are located right now. Also, flip might be an option. That would be perfect. I think. That's the oil coming in. So oil is coming in on this belt. That's a really nice place. And this is... and heating. Should that be there? Yes, apparently it should. Okay, so this is the... That's the oil, which is a little cumbersome to put here, but whatever. We'll find a way. One off. Ta-da! Almost ta-da. Oil comes in? Yes, but you're not coming in because you're not getting... Shh. One off. There we go. I don't know if I like this or dislike it. I can't tell. I don't think I like it. Power poles are also a little messed up here. What? What's going on here? Oh, right, I didn't copy all of it, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this is better. Why is it slow? What's not working? Oh, oil is not coming in properly. Oh, it's because this one was a good one. 405 yield to 325. This is 60 yield. Ah, right. Okay. So it's just because it was a bad one I had. I thought it was a design issue. It was not. Now it's producing 81 and you're gonna need 60. Good. Could push only the recyclers one down by removing the bottom heat pipes. What happens if I remove the bottom heat pipes? Does anything happen actually? No, actually that's true. Wow. This one is heating here. Okay. Okay, that's good. No, that's the problem. There you go. Then it would need to be heated from somewhere else, but it can't be heated from somewhere else. This is blocked, and if I block this one, then yeah. So, yes but no. Okay, I think this is a good build. So this gives us pretty much 1 rocket fuel per second, which should be enough, I hope. And it has any surplus is made available. Any surplus that would start causing a jam
gets deleted. So it's perfect. How much rocket fuel is required to be sufficient without external delays? Is there a way to calculate that? Nope, not there isn't, because the majority of it goes in here. And what is this working at? I don't know. Right now it's just heating up because a lot of it is also like me building, and then if I take this out and put it down again, then all the heat pipes come in at 30 degrees or something, and then, no, less, and then they need to get heat. So maybe right now the system is just trying to heat up these temperatures. Yeah, so this one's 364, so right now it's not actually at a steady state. The heat loss, I think it's per entity, but that seems not worth it. Correct. You can... I don't even know if there are numbers. In the wiki there is no numbers. I think that I checked, it just said like there is heat loss from buildings, from entities. I'm like, oh crap. But how much it is, I don't know. So we just do the Factorio way of just overbuilding it. Because the thing is, it has to be overbuilt, and it also has to be overbuilt by a significant margin. So I think this gets the job done. I think I like it. Production graph could show consumption over time, but need a stable sample. Yes. That gets used for heating, and then there's also future rocket launches to account for, and that there's rocket part productivity. That's true, and there's also, and I think just the big thing that will always just be in flux is me just adding more stuff to the base, which means the base now needs more demand for something that it didn't need before. I love this design. This is so neat. So easy to see what's going on. Yeah. This is still messed up. Okay, so now we have heating. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to make a build for you, lithium. Because we do need lithium. We can't do... Well, this actually need lithium plate, but that's... We get that from just handcrafting. The stuff we pick up. But then we need to build something that's a little more robust. First time chatter, long time YouTube viewer, first time here. I played with your upcycling design for a bit and extended it to the legendary quality. Can I somehow hear your opinion about it? No. Yeah, that welcome. Thank you. Awesome. This is kind of the how do I say that? How do I come up with a good analogy? Okay. When a TV chef makes a dinner and you make a change to it, that's okay. But getting the Gordon Ramsay to yell at you for not making your beef Wellington correctly is not really the point of it. The point of it is that if there are mistakes, by all means, I'd love to hear it. If there are improvements, you're very welcome to share it on my Discord. I think that's awesome. But having me comment on your beef Wellington isn't really something I do. Beef Wellington. I have made it once. It was a success, but it was a lot of work for no point. One thing. Now I'm hungry. You could eat just a casual beef Wellington just right now, right? One thing I can say, the heating demand seems to get supplied by whichever heating source is the nearest to the demand, not the network as a whole. Okay, well I think that must be like a calculation thing. Because then it makes sense when I think about it from an optimization perspective, that if it had to balance the whole network, that means like every single draw would sort of have a cascading but smaller effect throughout the rest of the network. That means every single part would be have to be real calculated. If they sort of say, you connected, which one is the closest heating tower? That one. Okay, draw from that. That seems like a lot easier calculation. No, no, it's gone. I think I'll send it there. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the point also for the Discord, is for people to share improvements to my designs, because some people will, as you do, sit and tinker with them and improve them to whatever you need. But for me, I wouldn't use it for legendary. This is not the purpose of it. So extending it to legendary is solving a problem that I don't have. So therefore, my dinner burger delivery will come in just 5 minutes. Now you hungry and jealous? I don't know. Burger delivery? I, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X. Um, I just don't like takeout, takeout, and I certainly don't like delivered takeout. And maybe it's because I live in the suburbs and not in the center of the city, but it just like starting the food you order from a takeaway is worse quality than the stuff I can make myself. It's also just not really what I want. And then on top of that, it's been on the back of a moped for the last 45 minutes, traveling around Copenhagen. Like, it's not, that doesn't make my beef Wellington delivered much better, right? It's that burger that is just being delivered to you. I'm not jealous, but the burger that I would make in my own kitchen, yeah. So it's always like, for me, it's not like, oh, I should treat myself by ordering takeaway. It would always be like, I can't be bothered to do anything. I'll suffice. If I don't have bacon and pasta in my fridge, then I'll order takeaway. But otherwise, I'd rather have that. Yeah, it's that low priority. So, yeah, so the whole idea of just takeaway, yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can, like, we've done this before. I think I'll try with only 4 this time. Thank you, now I'm hungry. Yep, you're welcome. Where's the beacon? There has to be beacons on this build. Yes. Yep, so that affects the 3 on that side, that affects the 3 on that side. Good. Let's see if this kind of works. But again, they don't connect up, down. That's not great. I think you should order pizza now. Yeah. This doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It doesn't work unless it has... Okay. There you go. Now I can look at ratios. Oof. So we're using way more. Hmm. Okay. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to take a break now because I need to remind the kids that maybe it's almost time to go to bed and stuff like that. So we also kind of forgot the 9 o'clock break. So we'll take a break now and another one at 11, I think. So be back in 2 minutes. Alright, welcome back. Okay, so why is this one not working? And by... I feel that I did this, but I probably did it when I had legendaries. So with legendaries, this ratio changed a lot as well. So the interesting thing is it doesn't really work here. So this setup, there's no point in building this because it's overbuilt, as you can see here. And also building 8 of these per second is way too much. 6. And this is... It can only support like this, for example. I had not even 2. How? How? I don't think this is really making it. Drop the speed and go full efficiency. That's no good. That's not a good idea. Because the speed also makes this one faster, so... I'm a little bit confused. I'm tempted to look at my old base and to see what I built here, because I did build something. I think that what I did was I did pure speed, but that's not going to change anything. That just kind of makes it bigger numbers but worse. One top, one bottom, and one right. Yeah, and in the Mega Base build, it was also rotated. So I was thinking if it was because of this. I just don't think more beacons win us anything here. Well, that's definitely not working because now I can't heat this internally. It could also be out here. Then I could have like one consistent loop here, which is nice. But then you are not going to be affected. Some machines have no recipe. Ah, right, okay. Didn't really make it better. Because it just added... Okay, and this is also like a beacon that only affects one thing, which is like bad. So... Yeah, I don't like... Is that an option? Obviously now this won't connect. Doesn't really do anything. It's still so far away. Like I'm trying to sort of make a pattern here. Oh, of course. These ones are 60% faster, but this one is not 60% faster. Do you have any insider info on what we should expect for 2.1? No. I know exactly the same as everyone else that Basket has commented about LDS shuffle and casinos, and that's all we know of at this point. Rare furnace, common carpent. Yes, exactly. That's the problem. That gives us already a 60% discrepancy in between them. And there's nothing I can do about it because let's just look at it like this. Hold on. This. Wow. Oh, right, because this one is not even affected by a beacon anymore. That's no good. Should cryogenic have modules? Yeah, they could. And speed for the bottom to only affect the lithium. But that's then if I do that, then I'm just deliberately making these builds worse just to get it to balance out, which doesn't make sense. Like the good thing about this design is that, hey, we're using all the space, we can have many to one, but if I don't need many to one, then whatever, just take this out and just find some other thing that makes sense. We can do something completely different. If then we can just do one beacon and these ones go close, right? It is exactly hitting that bottom one. But I could also do this. And do that one. Still way off. Odd. I don't know. So if we're talking about, I'd love to share my theory on some additions in 2.0. I've noticed that plant harvester have fluid input, but neither of the recipes built except but overall tree harvester have very little use, and it's one of the items that causes nothing. I think we will add some functionality to plant harvester. That is very conspiratorial. It comes from the reason why this is not some. Okay, so what you're seeing is true, that there is a fluid input, and it kind of sucks. The reasoning is not that they had a master plan and they just didn't want to include it. The reason is that they were changing Gleba radically in the months up to release. The version that I saw just a month before the release was significantly different from the one that was released. So yeah, so it's more likely that they built the assets a year before, and at that time they had an idea about liquids, and then it turned out, yeah, well, that's kind of too complicated, because they also had, like, I think in the Friday Factorio packs when they introduced Clever, there were several intermediate steps, which was simplified. So I don't think it's like a big conspiratorial, yes, they were doing that, but it might be something like, oh, bioflux used to be a liquid that was pumped in and something. And, you know, for me, if I just say the word bioflux, it sounds maybe more like a liquid than a solid. And it could be something like that, where they were sort of, okay, we need to pump some fertilizer in here, or some water, or something. And then they scrapped the idea in terms of sort of simplifying it, because it was way too complicated. Yeah. I hope they improved the harvester. Yes, I agree. It's completely useless from a quality perspective. That would be very nice if they had some kind of impact. I don't get this. I don't get why this is so bad. Like, it's completely off. Like, what if I do this? Like, look at that. 1-to-1. Like, the ratio is really 1-to-1. Now it's a little bit better than 1-to-1. It's so crazy. Why is it so bad? But I don't need this. Like, this is not precious. This is not precious. Like this could work. To sort of keep some kind of still not keeping up, but that's fine. It isn't, but let's do like this. Still. Good. It has a bad shape. Could also be like this. That's probably better. No, I can't. Can I heat it? No. There. Light, light, and light. Perfect. Okay, and then that will be the lithium brine, which is somewhere up here. One per second? That's not much. And power. And that one. If it's rare calibration, yes, but I can't make it rare quality yet, so that is not an option. But it is the reason why things are a little bit iffy. And there it starts draining. Yeah, it drew the heat from this one, it drew the heat from this, and not that. Come on, heat up, heat up, heat up. Just be affecting the lithium production as speed mentioned in the cryogenic. Yes. When on Aquilo do we start moving towards liquid bus? I'd assume that's saved for so much later since we don't have much ice platform concrete. Yes. I also think that if I look at my previous build, it wasn't really that necessary, to be honest. Because the stuff that we need on the liquid bus is... Yeah, let's see. Okay, this one's actually not done. I need to go here and here. Let's see, what is it? And this one should be just this one, which is used for one thing, I think. It's used for the fluoroketone, so I do need it for something. Not much, but just a little bit. There. Okay. Let's see, what did I want to say? So now you're working. Okay, so So when do I switch to a liquid bus? Well, yes and no. Because one of the things that we really want to build here on this planet, it's the cryogenic science, which needs fluoroketone, and lithium plate and ice. Okay, so ice and lithium plate, they come in by robot, and then the fluoroketone is going to have some kind of loop where it heats and cools. We lose 50% of the fluoroketone, so we need to supplement it. Yes. The other thing that we need to build is this one, which is again doing the same thing. It loses a little bit. So it's actually only those two things that I need to build. And then, of course, fusion reactor, railguns, you know, the little hub for the few things that we need to build. But continuous production, it's only the quantum processors, and we're not talking about building something that can sustain us for Prometheum science. We're building something that will get us a steady supply of normal quality fusion power, get us some normal quality railguns, and get us sort of the portable fusion reactor we need. It's that kind of thing. Like, it really isn't that much we need here. And that one as well. That's the main one, I guess. This is the continuous. And so, fluoroketone needs to go into three things. Four things maybe. Foundation, blue science, and quantum processors. And then the fourth thing is the hub, because there are some things that need, like this one, I think it needs, yeah, railgun turrets, it does need a little bit. Yeah. I really like your mid-game Aquilo train base. Yes, I did too. It was just overbuilt. Improved trains are two of the most needed things in quality. Yes. I don't think that trains would actually, they wouldn't change viability. I liked my train base as well. But I just don't think it's necessary. Because I overestimated how much we were going to need. And like in my legendary or my mega base, I think actually, let me just take a save and then go to the mega base just to kind of illustrate how. Also just having to see some other things here. If this is the finally Factorio, well, you're saying it correctly, but you're not understanding it correctly. It finally Factorio is not the same as the final Factorio. It's finally Factorio because I've been streaming a lot of other stuff the rest of the week. Shooting out for ketone instead. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, I was thinking about the same thing. Okay, so this is my mid-game train base here, where I go out and bring in crude oil, fluoroketone, and fluorine, lithium, brine, and fluorine. Super amazing, awesome, works perfectly, awesome. And then I put it on the bus, and I have it all the way here. But the thing is, this is used for one thing. This is used for one thing. This is used for one thing. It should not go on the bus. It should just go into that one place where it's used for. Right? So that kind of defeats the point of this. It was like a great idea, and it looked amazing, and it worked really well. It was just way overbuilt. And when we look at the megabase, remember, this is producing for 1 million signs per minute of everything. Yes, and it has been for 10 hours. Then how much Hey, Solid Bomb, thank you for 61.
Returns. Welcome home.
Where is it? What am I looking at? Oh, here, right? This is where I need the lithium. So here, lithium. No, actually, let's do it the other way around. Let's actually look at consumption. Consumption for the last minute. It's steady. 10 minutes then. 6.3 per minute. And 16,000 per minute. 16,000 divided by 60. That's 266 lithium brine per second. Here, 6300, oops, divided by 60. It's 105. And oil, it's half of that. So, lithium brine. Let's find out where the hell we have lithium brine. Where's my lithium brine? I think there was one somewhere. There. That's the Freud. Where's my lithium brine? There. Is that the one I hook up? No? I'm just hooking it up from this line. But let's for the sake of argument, take this one. Oh, it doesn't have much left. Where do we have lithium brine? So this one of these, with a beacon and module and all that stuff, is producing 611 per second. So for my mega base that produces 1 million signs per minute, I need less than half of one pump jack. Like, that doesn't seem like mega at all, right? It's with the productivity we have, it's completely absurd. We also have plus 8,000%, but we kind of sort of used to the part where it's mega base. Okay, we need a ton of this, and we just need to bring it in bulk. And I was like, oh, I need half of one one pump jack. Blech. So the whole thing about making a giant bus, making trains, all that stuff, it's nothing. Unfortunately. Lithium brine. Here, that one. We just pump this in. We could just take this, basically, and pump it into wherever it needed. So that's why maybe Aquilo is a touch forgiving because of how difficult even base logistics is. It is, yes. What about transferring scrap on Factorio via trains? Yeah, you kind of have to do that, in my opinion, to bring it back home to your base. Which is okay-ish, but not really. So, I think the benefit of the trains, even if it specifically doesn't need it, allows this to be extended to any map where maybe the closest resource is far away and direct piping isn't feasible. But direct piping isn't feasible. It is feasible. There's a thing called map generation, and it will make sure that it puts something nearby our starter base. So it's not like, yeah, map generation will ensure that you have something nearby. And I don't know. I think there is an argument about making things modular. Yes, absolutely. I love making things modular, making things generic. But you can also make things generic that really doesn't need to. Like making something generic and putting it on a bus when it's used for one consumer. Then that's not correct. It's just not correct. And that's the thing here. So the base materials are the base liquids, crude oil, lithium brine, fluorine. They don't go on a bus. They just don't deserve to go. They go in where they need it, and that's it. Endgame, because of high mining productivity, I thought during the game you needed more in terms of pump jacks per whole base product. No, this at the point when I was building this, updating this one, it was not mega base as in the million signs, but it was going from having maybe like 30,000 signs per minute to having 200 signs per minute or 150 signs per minute. So it was like, all right, let's scale it up. And I didn't really go heavily into this. You can see this is still like dirt cheap. This would take like less than a minute to research. So even when you get up to maybe just the 30 to 50,000 signs per minute, then mining productivity is so cheap that you just crank out a couple of hundred of these without consideration. I just didn't do that, and when I did that, it was like, oh shit, I can see the difference now. So hit that research. Yeah, well, not now, because this base is only allowed to research productivity, because 5 hours and 43 seconds running at 36 updates. That's another 10 hours before that one completes. Always getting right before after. What? But I'm always getting right before after end game. Right before after end game, and quit it. Right. I think there might be a word too much here. Right before end game, I guess, or right before after end game. So this is the end game. Now comes the after end game. Right before that, I quit. You mean at end game? Yeah. So this was just to show that with mining productivity, and mining productivity is not that expensive. So you don't need 800 of those researches, but even just 200 is going to be just fine. Never running out, I think. And then you add like higher qualities that has lower consumption rate. Cool. Oh, let me just check something else. Yeah, these are brilliant designs. They look so beautiful. Look at that. That's so beautiful. And also, instead of having a corner, I had them in the middle. That makes so much more sense. And this one is just affecting these. This one is affecting these 4. And this one's affecting these 4. Oh, it's so much nicer. Why didn't I do this? It's funny, like, these components, you can just iterate them in so many ways. And, like, this is clearly a design that has been tweaked and tuned and optimized a lot. Like a lot. And it is. It's beautiful. I love looking at some of my designs. I go like, damn, I got my shit together when I designed that. All right. Yeah, one of the beauty of Factorio is tinkering with design. Absolutely. Okay, I'm just gonna see what this would look like if I tried to do the stuff that I was completely missing before. Was it like this? Because it has to be hitting this one here. Still way off. Yeah, so it's not gonna fix anything by doing this. I like this. This is nice. So the question becomes, what should we do for the remainder of this design here? Like, I'm leaning towards really not a lot. This one is a cheating thing, so we'll put it out here on the side. We do need some rocket silos, so let's get that from any of the other locations that have rocket silos sort of here. Let's just do that one. That's so close. So I'll just make it up here. No ideas. Don't think I need a better beacon. Well, actually, I do need a better beacon because I don't have anything else. Yeah. All the uncommon quality can just go away. Don't know why I have so much uncommon quality. Yeah. Okay, I've been following along with the current masterclass and noticed that the carbon fiber production on Gleba can deadlock if it idles for too long, as the spoilage is not returned to the bus because it's intended to be consumed by the production. Has it been finished off screen? Something that has been commented as well, and I made the little change so that it goes around and goes back on the bus, only to sort of feed back in here for exactly that reason. So thank you, first time chatter corrects Kun. Good spot. You spotted the issue and we have fixed it. So, yes. Because you could also jam the other one, because I was kind of thinking, oh yeah, it's always going to run, but no, it's not. Are you bringing everything you need to bring those silos locally? Iranian, that's a good point. That's a really good point. That is something we should definitely do. I mean, everything we need. Concrete, we're bringing it in. Pipes, we're bringing in. Blue, yes. Steel, we're not bringing it in, but that's a good point that we should bring steel in here. And of course, electric engineers. But I don't want to build stuff on this planet. Well, I made myself good to know. Yep. Great minds think alike. Unfortunately, so do simple minds. So we don't really know which of those cases it is. In Factorio, but it's always that bad that I'm ending up to copy from you. I mean, why? Is it bad because you don't like copying, or is it bad because they are, I don't know, they're good? We come up with the same design, and isn't that good? So, that means this one should bring in steel. Should I bring steel in from here, or should I bring it in from... I don't think any place is actually actually, maybe I could actually get it from here in an easy way. Engines. I think they're gonna come from here. And LDS is coming from here. like that. Not my design for scrap recycling for Gora, compact and efficient. Yes. And we probably should cap this as well. What is the other one capped at? It's not? Oh, right, it's capped like this. Okay. Yeah, they stack to 1, so we'll do that. And copy, paste. We got the stuff except for the stuff that we don't have. Doesn't that just get us that immediately? No, I forgot to click that. Should I also just do that one just because? Sure. But you can just be busy doing all of that in the meantime. Good. All right. Unless you're a streamer, then break it in anyway and call it next stream's content. Yeah, not streaming. I did years ago, but I did not continue. Why did you not continue? If you don't mind me asking. This is just me making conversation because it's one of those things that, I mean, if you start for fun, there's probably also the difference of for me it has become my primary, if not sole, source of income. So fix you're getting some of these imports from. Oh right, yeah, just adding them to the group doesn't change it. That's true. Yeah, unfortunately. Right, this one is correct, but this one has to then be changed over to that, and that one has to be changed over to Fogora. There you go. Yeah, thank you. Important. Because I don't like to talk to myself for 2.5 hours. Okay, well, that's true. I just can't be entertaining. Yeah. No, neither can I. And I'm just here to show that there is room for people who can't be entertaining, but can do it something else. So, okay, that has to be there. Okay. So, this is not a great build, but I think that on Aquilo, we kind of are constrained by space a lot more than anywhere else. So I think that I also want to move these in here so that we get more of a holistic build. So I think that the next thing we want to do is build the second city block. And the second city block will be dedicated to building fluoroketone, blue science, whatever, local science, and quantum process. Those are the things that need to be done in a... I think that makes sense that we do this, good. We landed, we're fine, we're safe, we're good. Things are okay, we can launch things off the planet, we have power, we have storage. Okay, let's take a deep breath and move on to the next challenge. Trying to make Minecraft videos again with AI voice. Oh, it's an on-off thing. Currently I'm trying to make it to the minimum for YouTube to get monetized. Yeah. See, AI voice. There might be a good reason for it, but damn, I hate AI slob on YouTube. Over half of all internet traffic is bots. That's crazy. Seeing you starting Factorio in the Masterclass made me start Factorio and go back to making crash science. Ooh, and continuing after not playing for more than 6 months. Ooh, nice. Well, welcome, Traden. Then I better get this going because it's going to be the next Masterclass will be landing on Aquilo safely, I hope. Need the nuclear fuel cells because currently it requests 50 and the ship gives it away without considering that it might need it for itself. Is it requesting it? No, it should not be. Yeah, that's true. It really shouldn't be. Because I thought I would need this, but I don't. But then we have to go back to space and should have a local one here, a local request. It's just the spaceship itself. I was about to say, why does this not exist on Novice? But it does. It's just that all the other stuff is queued up first. Available on planet 5. Oh no. Tumbling down the rabbit hole. What's going on? Where are the... Oh, right. That's because the biter eggs are... I built it for the Masterclass video and then I was like, whatever. Don't care. Don't need it. So it actually... I don't have a steady supply of this somewhere. So just gonna make a little friendly one of these. Here. Biter egg. Wonder if they spoil in here. No, they don't. They don't spoil in here. Good. So they only spoil once they get taken out of this. Yeah. I just posted in I'm a version of Aquilo's data block. Just if you have any interest with liquid dust. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure I like this. I have kind of designed it maybe too compact. So I am really at a loss whether I should just throw away this and start over. And I don't like that. Because this is a mess. This is not a beautiful city block of anything. Like, sure, I can argue that we're so space constrained that I have to sort of put things where they can be put. But on the other hand, yeah, so the difficulty is here I have something that's making ammonia in a chemical plant because I kind of have to, or not, I don't kind of have to. I have to do that first because I don't have anything else. Not easy to transition from that upcycler build for modules to a build legendary from scratch. No. I wouldn't build that. Remember, this was my starter base. I know. But I am caught a little bit with how much is in my starter base. Like, this is a little bit overbuilt for starter base builds, but it's good. This is a little bit underbuilt, maybe? 2.5 per second is not much. When we go to this one, then it's 1 lithium plate to 1 cryogenic. That means, well, of course, productivity and all. This is... What's productivity now? 80%. So this gives us... oh my god, this is so bad. Why? Why is this so bad? This one. Can you move your solar outside the block for my design space? My design space? What do you mean? What do you mean my design space? Okay, so here's the problem. More design space. Well, yeah, but that just makes it even more hacked. And there's no such thing as outside. That's just like somewhere else. My space, yes. Right, so here's the problem. This one takes 1 lithium plate in and produces 1 cryogenic plant. It's 1 to 1, except it has 80% productivity, so it's 1 to 1.3. Which is funny, because if I look at it, the crafting speed, it says 0.01 and it's 0.03. That looks like it's a factor 3, but it's probably 0.018 or something like that. So if I do this one here. $13 and $23, yes. So it is plus 80%, which means that if this is the only thing I have, then I'm only producing 3 per second. So 3 times 1.8 means that my maximum amount of science I can produce is 5.4 per second, which is nothing. Been thinking about making my clever my science. What do you think? I mean, this is the thing that I don't understand masochists. I just don't. And you're just saying you're a masochist, and I'm like, well, good for you. I respect that you are a masochist and you like to inflict pain on yourself. Just not my thing. A little bit of a sadist, but definitely not a masochist. But hey, I respect your preference, and good luck with that. Unless you're upgrading those science blocks. Yeah. But is this used for anything else? Yes, 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 and yes. So you see, I have to have a surplus. Is your mother tongue English? No, it's not. So this is a shit build, as they say. How the hell do I solve this one? The clever science easiest to make. You need only bioflux. Yeah, but that's making clever my science base. That implies that all the other science is also going to make on clever, which is not a great idea. It's an awful idea. Unless you are just really just looking for pain and misery. I have no idea how to get this one to get better, because this just can't really get better. 1.5 per second. Because it's only 20% productivity on this, so 1.5 per second. 2.25 per second. $2.25 to $2.57 doesn't change anything. Like, I can't really get this one to produce higher quantities. Like, we're down to 1.5. Good. 2.0. It's really low. Zero, 2.8. $3.6. And the power is a lot. 3.22. Now the power is not so bad. 2.6 megawatt. Your megabase design had beacons between the furnace pairs. What about trying that? The problem is the the problem is that legendary productivity modules 8 legendary productivity modules are carrying a hell of a lot in here. Like this is 3.3, 3.23. Yeah. So this carries a lot. But it's also like 15 megawatt of power for one building, and I just can't support that 50 megawatt for one building. That's the problem. When we have legendary, it doesn't matter. But here we have to look at power as well. This one is using 600 kilowatt, which is good. This one was using 15 megawatt, not good. So if we use a double speed beacon, then I have to do something else. Then it has to be something like 2 of these, and then the rest of it like this, which is now minus 74. So now it's pretty much nothing. We could go over and do that one. This is as much as I can reasonably eke out of it. 3.22. And this is one beacon. Why is lithium brine not working? Go. 4 per second. What? You need 32 per second. What? Yeah, okay, so in the beginning you actually need a lot of this. This is between 4 per second, 4 per second, and 4 per second. Problems. Okay, so let's have a look at this. That's a problem. This is not a problem. So we're still consuming more than we're producing, so that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Productivity instead of speed. It's gonna be very, very bad. 3.22. Let's give it. I'll show you. And now it's 2.65. That's actually not so bad. What if we do that? 2.78, 2.88. It's just using more power then. Like, obviously this is what I want. Then it's only using 14 and we're producing 12 up there. But the power is now 15 megawatts. I can't have a base hit this one where maybe I can, because this one isn't running all the time. But I don't know if I actually have these productivity modules here, or if they're even valuable to put in here. Like, these normal ones I have tons of, but do I really have this? And is this where I want to use them? Honestly, no. I think this is likely, and in beacons, yes, we can do something else. Which means now we're getting into, it's not producing 4 per second, it's producing less. 3.5 maybe. Yeah, this is just bad, right? But it's still using 15 megawatt. This is so bad. Like that. 7 point something. There we go. Almost ready. Very close. Just for the hell of it, let's just do that. Then this should be fast enough. 10 plus 10 plus 10, that's 30 coming in, and this one is 28 consumed. Good. Robot charging will take a lot of power. Yes. This is also why I built the power plant or the fuel production better. I don't think this is the answer. I think this is a better answer. And then some of these. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if this is valid to do that. I don't know if I can afford this. We'll do this. And now it's producing 2.8 and it only has 20% productivity here, so yeah. Okay. But I am really wondering about a bus build instead. The reason why I'm thinking is because now comes the next part. Hey, let's make some power, some science. How much science do we want? This one, very slow. Oof, look at that, 10 megawatt of power. Ow. Oh, that's a lot of power. And it's still just producing so ridiculously slowly. Yeah, that's actually a lot of power that with these. I think this is the reason why they didn't give this one 50% productivity and 4 or 5 modules like the other ones. One thing for variation, but another thing to sort of trap us into using way too much power on this planet, thereby needing fusion power. How much is this producing? This is outputting 64 megawatts, so I have 128 megawatt of power. Yeah, this is kind of atrocious. How the... Because right now, when I'm looking at the power, 10 megawatt, I want to use more efficiency modules. But then I look at the speed and looking at it's producing 0.23 per second. That's not great. Time for the nuclear solution is really not that good. Like if I look at a nuclear power plant, well, it's 800 megawatt for a city block size. And I just don't think I can afford to take a whole city block and just dedicate to a nuclear power plant. I just don't think so. Oh, and that's not even going to happen because it needs a lot of heating pipes in there, so... Chance apaxematic. I am ignoring what you're saying. Because I don't understand it. None of your sentences make any sense. So put a little bit more effort into it if you want me to respond to it, because I'm looking at it and just go, I have no clue. No clue what the question is about. So a little bit more effort, then you can get a response. Can you not add a second beacon with efficiency modules? I can, but they get progressively worse. And if I do another one just like this, then it goes a little bit down in power, but now it also is only producing at 0.15 instead of 0.23. So adding another beacon is lowering the efficiency of all the beacons, because that's how beacons work. So that means the speed from the first beacon is diminished. And yeah, that sucks. This is why beacons just not very great. This part here, it is now 10.7 megawatt, which might be okay, I guess. And now it's producing 0.35. Huh. Yeah, let's actually figure out when this one is working full speed. Then it has 250% efficiency. So if it's producing 128, it's outputting 128 megawatt of electricity. Then I divide by 2.5 because that's how much input. That means 51 megawatt inbound. I was about to say megawatt per second. Megajoule per second. And this one is 100 megajoules. So it's, when this one is fully operational, it consumes half of a fuel per second. And this one is producing 1 per second. So if I double it and it's running 100%, then I use all the fuel that I have. As much science from one city block as possible. No, that's not it. The objective is to have a little starter base that is landing us on Aquilo and just trying to figure out what goes in there. And we started working on the next one because science will not be in the first one, it'll be in the next one. I do think that there's I'm almost tempted to just scrap the whole damn thing and start over. Like, I love this design, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's... First, okay, two things. Every build is now going to require some inputs. Like, this is now requiring ammonia. Yeah, this is requiring ammonia. This is requiring ammonia. This is requiring ammonia. So everything requires ammonia. Hence, it should be on the bus. Fluoroketone, hot and cold, should be on the bus. Water? Maybe that should be in the bus as well. I don't really know. It's needed here. Actually needs water. There's a lot of things that need water. Used in. It's not very, very descriptive here. I don't think there's much on this planet that needs water. No. Okay, so water is not it. So it's only really here and not even this one. No, there's only really this part that needs water. So do we transport ice cubes around? No, oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Okay. Let me just articulate. Right. This is the only thing that needs water. So water needs a lot of ice. So if I decouple this and take ammonia in one place that outputs ice that I need to do something with, and then produce the water somewhere else, then I need to bring a lot of ice cubes back and forth. Well, only one way. That sucks. So that implies I should build the ice to water maker next to the ammonia, because then I can just leach all the excess ice that I'm making and just use it from there. So now I need to pipe the water from here over to the fuel and the solid fuel. No, just the fuel plant. So then I'm starting to have it on the bus anyway, and I don't want that. And the power block. Power also needs water, yes. Okay, that's a good point. So power also needs water. So that argues that power should be there. Water should be there. So that's 4 things on the bus. 1, 2, 3, 4. First thing first is water first, yes, and then ammonia, and then hot and cold. Cold and hot. Like, that should be here. And if I do that, then this design doesn't really... Did it run from it? But bus arrives all the same. Yeah. It doesn't change this design. It doesn't... This design will be better. It means that I need to decouple ammonia production. Oh my god, I think I need to draw a line in the sand and redo this. Oof. Can I do that? Should I do that? Like this. Yeah, yeah, let me look at your design. You put an effort into it. Because it was your comment that triggered me, so... Yes. It's something like that. That's beautiful. There's missing something, I think, from my perspective, but yeah, I think it's very nice. Yeah, so let me not look at this anymore. You don't need to be on this bus, this here anyway, but does this work? Yeah. Okay. Let me have a look at the other locations. Yeah, so they are all the way up here. So that we can just barely do this. Okay. It's just that it's so consistent with all the other ones that it feels really bad not doing the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna kill this. Oh, wow, that's not good. Max distance, max -1. No. Ah, this is not it. There. Max distance all the way through. That might not actually be the best way to do this. Yeah. Okay. Expand into 2 to 3 starter blocks instead of 1. No, that doesn't work because you don't have the ice to make one to make it. So you need to get started on something. Now this one is already a problem. I keep this for now. I keep this. This I kind of keep. Now I need to redo this one, but forget the ice, forget the ammonia. But these ice and ammonia have to be built anyway, but generic. Whatever the hell that means. But I can also tell that this is actually a necessary amount we have here. What? Oh. Yeah. Be quite a lot of things here. Okay. Can't get all the way out. Oh, that's bad. That is known, isn't it? We know this. So oil comes in here, and the water as well will then have to be. It's one water, and the other water is here. We don't need as many as this, but I can also just take this out if I want to, but I don't know. Let's keep the structure first and then see what we can get out of it here. Okay, so that's the easy part. Now the next part is who's making this? Oh, why am I doing this? Oh, I hate myself for doing this. This is typical me. Like, I over-designed too early in the process. Because this was not what I was supposed to do. I haven't even decided if this is the right place for it to be, so let's not do that yet. I just took this one, and honestly, it would probably be better to flip it some other way. So that it can get the same thing in from the same sides. Maybe I can also do something different now that it... Would it be... Okay, everything just gets torn away, torn up. Okay, so is this now an option? So they go this way? Not really. It has to be like this. Yeah. Doing too much in too little space right now, so I think a redesign makes sense, yeah. It's not about doing too much in too little space. It's more about, how should I say this? Not having a structure that I can build on, where everything is a nice little module, but when you add a lot of nice little modules, then you see a lot of redundancy, such as many places to make ammonia. That was the core problem here. I don't like this particularly. Because this has another issue of how do we get stuff inbound. I don't think this is particularly easy to do. Or to feed this. Don't over design that again. Can this be powered or not powered, but see that one is, this one down here is a little annoying. This would be better. Ultimately, it really doesn't matter that you use a little bit more of these, like saving on heat pipes, whatever. This could work, right? The only thing is like we don't have output. This is heated from here, so I could get output like this. Suppose that's fine. This might not be the worst idea ever. Okay, now I kind of feel I can hook this up. Let me cheat a little bit. Just a little bit. No, there. The oil, but we can get that. There. Exciting music. This is producing at 10 per second. Can it keep up? Oh, they're only consuming at 2.36, so that's fine. These are also consuming 10 megawatts each, but whatever. It's okay. So I like this, I think. I think. Yeah. Could bring it one up by removing this one. I don't know where we get the power from, but whatever. Yes, yes, yes. Good. All right, so this is okay-ish. There's something interesting about this little design here. Like, this will always work, right? Oops, there you go. This will always sort of work here but it's... But it's... Like, this is the first thing we built. Right? And also... That one's over there. Oh, is that even fast enough? No, it's not. Wow. Maybe a stack inserter would be better? Yes. Ooh. And that actually could have... Is that issues here? Don't know. So, I'm going to need some ammonia here. One of these with a beacon on like this. Let's figure out how much we can actually make. This is producing, ooh, 250. That's really not a lot. But I'm also overdoing this. This is 450. Two of these maybe? Because I am going to need extra. Okay. I have an idea, and this is obviously not exactly how it's going to be, but it's not awful idea. Or it'd just be an even better idea if I could switch it this way. Because then I could build some of this for the ice and on that side. Ah, it really needs to be closer. Most easy world to start for Get It robots. your build. You need robots on Novice before you leave Novice, so build them on Novice. This is a thing. Right? I remember why I needed this space in between. The reason why I built 4 spaces in between was because I could then build this one in here. So the deleter. But now I scrapped that idea because I got sidetracked with another good idea. Ugh. That deleter is a cute idea. Right, so that can get rid of all of our ice if we need to. This one can also go all of our ice in there. That's maybe also an option, but probably not. Oh, actually it could be even better, like this. Then it would go in before. But then this is going to be impossible to, yeah, to build. These two could be swapped so the water is closer or the whole thing is further out. That's not a big deal. This one with ice or with water, how fast is that? It's not, because it doesn't work yet. Yeah, so here's another little issue. This cannot be like that. Yeah, that could work. Actually quite neat that I start by building this one, which is the first thing we build, and then as I research this one, I just extend the line upwards. That's actually not bad. But I could also do this, because these can now go in here without problems. Okay, and how fast are you? We don't know. Okay, I think this design is coming together pretty nicely, actually. That one's not really working. Just outside. Damn it. So this can consume 4 per second. Which is about the same as that. And now, what if all of this was just magically pushed out by 1? How did this one become... what? Oh, right, yes. Okay, these two should also have been moved out. There. It's kind of okay, but also kind of not okay. I think I need the whole thing here moved a little bit down again. Oh. No? There. Yeah, that still works. Okay, so what is not working now? This one. No, the whole thing fails as I built this one. No. Oh, crap. I was so happy. It was so good. It was so good. And then this one becomes the problem again. It sucks, but that is an option, right? Oh, that's... Feels weird, but whatever. That. Now that's out of power. Whatever. This is pushing... You're not pushing. Oh, no! 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 No, it doesn't work! It doesn't work! Maybe. Oh, the desperation is... Well, getting a little desperate here. Okay, so I got this one to work somehow, which I think is the most difficult one. Hey, Silver Cecil, thank you. Oh, these still have to get ice. No, they don't have to get ice inbound. They're getting ice inbound here. So this one still needs to get from the other side. So, damn, it's still like this. Okay, so here's another thing that I just realized. This space out here is completely useless. So what if I move these a little bit further apart so that I could just have a line in between here? That would be a lot better. Let's try that. So that basically I do here, and then this is the line that heats. I think this is just a more familiar way of doing it. And then these will have to be out to this location, which is not a problem for the beacon. So, but it is a problem for the range of... It's one too far. Crap. Yeah. And this one could be moved one out, I guess, one to the left, so that this whole this becomes redundant, like that. Does that work? No ammonia, of course. This needs to be moved as well. Move more. Damn. Maybe there's a way to do this by saying this is outputting into a box so that we know we have this in a box somewhere. Don't know if that's good enough. Mm-hmm. I like these tinkered designs here. Okay. Do we like? Well, it's not getting any ice inbound. This is not because it's not getting any... How do we do this? Could have the box be a red box. We want to take from it, but don't necessarily want to put back into it. Yes. Ah, yeah, infinity pipes. Yes. Alright, so you're working? Yes. Building some water. Building water. Water. Goes up. Goes in here. Yes. That's a nicer build. And then sort of, if we really wanted somehow, then if we could get this one back down there into this so that you wouldn't have to be using so many modules and stuff. I also think this is a little bit overdone here. I don't think it's reasonable to use these expensive modules for this. For something that most of the time it'll be busy in the beginning, but then it'll stop. Okay. What about without this? It's minus 19, so it actually needs one of each. Oops. Minus 69, okay. And this is 250. And yeah. I wonder if I could do this. Oh. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Maybe I don't mind. I was thinking that no matter what, one of these will be empty and the other one will be full, but it doesn't stop these from working. It just means that whether they junk it or not. So this will be enabled when the ice is less than, greater than 2000. There. And this should be able to get rid of all of that. So if I do... Yeah. And then copy, paste into these two. Then they stop. Alright. First trip regular... Need to add to the first trip regular modules now. Oh yes. Yes, that's true. Go, limit. Okay, so this is a better build because we now have these two going out on the boss as well. And it's, yeah, I like this build. This is much nicer. I think there's something about the power plants here. Yeah, or the power poles. Here we also have a little bit of a weirdness. Like these are way too close. Ah, that one! Shit. Why was this one not actually working? And if I move it one over, then this falls out. Because what I'm seeing now is that this will always go first if it can. That means the lowers the amount of runtime on this. But since there's no productivity on either of these, then it doesn't really matter. Okay. Do we see any problems with this? Is it possible to move the solid fuel on the right side of the rocket fuel? So maybe basically take this one and make it mirror it. It would have to be right there. Here. Okay, I'm falling into this trap here. This is our specific case that goes out here. That might not be like this for everyone else. It's no longer affected by beacon, so that's the next thing that has to be fixed. And swap. Still not affected by beacon. Now it is. A bit late of saying this because I was busy, but don't scare me again with your sneeze. Sorry. I usually sort of be able to pull myself away. Because that gives us a little more storage space. I guess this was kind of the point of it, right? Can I move this 4 tiles over? I could, but then it wouldn't be this pattern. It would have to be something completely different. It would be like this. But no beacon then. Yeah. $16 MW. Ouch. Maybe this is better. 4 MW. Well, it's only when they're working, so. It's looking better, and oh, we gotten that's looking very much like yours. A little bit more compact than what you built, but I guess I'll also just put a little bit more time into it. Yeah, this is not awful, I think. What do we think about it? We also have room for the fluoroketone and hot and cold fluoroketone, and then we have this, and you know, when we realize that, oh, we need more of this, and we might not be able to support it, then we can do it. When you touch it and things, hey, sometimes just need a kick in the right direction, and then we get there. I think it's better to have more of these. Yeah. Ooh. Assume you already have a rough idea of where you will put one. Would you put production to fill and use the bus someone's point on? Where would you put production? Oh, right. Right. This one will just get us the ice and the ammonia we need for now. I hope. And then I will build. Oh, that's such a good build. Oh shit! There is one thing we didn't do. We don't build this part. I don't know if there's room for it up here if I start compromising some stuff here. Oops. But where's the output? Well, the output could be here. Yeah, see, that's no good, because that makes it a little more awkward there. Oh, perfect. Can just be there. So that's inbound and outbound. Just a little bit of this. 2 stacks, and this will be a little stack of chromium. Interesting how that actually just fits perfectly anyway. Ah, nice. That was very easy amendment. Yes, I mean, it doesn't have to come in from the up here or this side. It just happens to be this could also go up, and this one could also go to the side if that's how you do it. Isn't the wrong thing to be outbound? Yeah, these two also need the outbound. That's the stuff we haven't really figured out how to do that though. Yeah, because this is fine, but it's not fine down here. Damn. Oh crap. Okay, we can fix this. Only way is by this one being in here, I think. Because there's still room for you to go in here. It goes in. See, that's how it has to go, but then I can't. Ah. I wanted this. This would be perfect. Except, how do I get that one in here? Yeah, man, so close. Now I do need a little bit of this outbound lithium, just for I can't remember what it's for something. Oh, how slow it is. How do I fix this? Thank you. Can't do it on the other side because this has to come in here. This was now 1.17 per second, which is nothing, but it's getting started. Yeah. I think this is okay for sort of, and now we have a little bit building. Yeah. Now this is about as compact as we can get this, I think. Obviously stuff like this is not necessary, or this, but it does kind of feel a little bit weird without that. Ooh. Wasn't the point also that I should... I don't think that I even can. This cannot reach across. Oh, it can barely reach across if it could. Point was also that I could have a collective build here. How fast is this long-handed inserter? Because obviously this one is fine. No more. There. You can jump the water on the other side between silo and landing hub. Yeah, that's true. But I'm not sure I'm producing enough. And I'm not, I mean, yes, almost at least, but I'm not sure it actually works. Because there's a... Maybe about this one. Oh! Why is this one powered? Huh. And how much water does this consume? 132. How much water does this consume? 26. Really? Yeah, and not even. Oh, it's only these two. Yeah, 26 water. Okay, and I'm producing how much water? Again, I'm producing 160. Okay, so... If I did this... Oh, that does not look good. That would produce 100 plus 100. Can I kill this? That is not gonna work, because that means whenever this stops using ammonia, then we're fucked. Yes. Right? Because this is just a box. This is not a requester box, it's a provider box. So only way I could feel a little bit safe about this would be if I also had a requester inbound. Like this. And now this is not connected, so it has to go out here. And this would be requesting emergency. But this, they would be linked. So you're not going to be working unless the amount of ice in this box is very low, less than 100, right? So if these boxes are empty, then you are allowed to start taking from the backup box, but only when they are almost empty. Yeah, having it as a self-contained module, I agree. I think this one was requesting 132. This is producing 83. Oh, okay. $64. Oops. Since none of these are using productivity, then there's really no difference between using this one to produce water or the other one. Yeah. And this one didn't have room for a module. There's the argument now that I could say this is producing 100 plus 100 and then another 64 plus 64. That's fine. Yeah, just the redundancy then. Yeah, I think it's fine to have redundancy on power. But then having it not connected may be a little bit problematic. What happened? I don't know. I think I like it a little bit less now because I now have advanced sort of conditions up here. And I've tied my general production together with this one, which I don't think is a good idea. You could set up an auto-voiding schema using assembler with an ice platform recipe set in by an arithmetic component looped on itself. What? Ice platform recipe using assembler with an ice platform recipe setting by an arithmetic component looped by itself. That doesn't make any sense to me. Do you mean like if you mean by auto-voiding by changing flickering recipes, then that's a big fucking no for me. And I don't do that. This is already too complicated for something I want to put in the masterclass. So I think this is better. But because of the bug, yeah, because it's ugly. I don't like it. I don't know if it's a bug. I just don't like the idea of just disappearing things like that. Because like throwing things in lava, fine, but making the game destroy it just doesn't seem like something I want to do in Factorio. It feels like it's not a bug, but it's abuse of game mechanics. And therefore I don't do it. So now I have linked these two together, which I really shouldn't be, unless I do it in this way. Now that's something, right? Is that something? I don't know. But it's so convenient. There's also the part about it in the only way I think it's relevant is to delete liquid molten copper, and then you have when you look at your base, then you have some item that just flickers between recipes, and that's just, it's annoying to look at, and it's something that will be, everyone who comes in and looks at a base that has a number of buildings that are just flickering back and forth would go like, what is that thing? And I go like, oh, that's me abusing game mechanics to delete things. No thanks. No thanks. I don't. Seems your ice platforms aren't working. That's a good point. Yeah, because this stupid thing, I was trying to... Yeah, I was trying to supplement it easily from here, and that's not a good idea. Thank you, good spot. Could there have been an argument for this block to be only for power and ice platforms, and building the rest in a way that can be expanded later, since the lithium eventually needs a bigger build? Or is it overcut style? The problem is that if you remember landing on Aquilo at the beginning, you really don't have a lot of ice platforms. And ice platforms takes a while to make, and then you need to bring in a lot of concrete. Sure, you can bring a lot of concrete, but this is 10,000 concrete. And every city block is 10,000, isn't it? No, it's not. It's way less. It's now like 54 times 54-ish. So 3,000 concrete for each block, but there's also some amount of ice platforms. And ice platforms, they're going to be made slowly, as you can see. 0.4 per second. And therefore, if I start saying, okay, I'm going to build 3 city blocks to begin with, then when you start building it, you go like, I can't. It's going to take me 4 hours or 2 hours before I even have enough ice platforms to get there. So that's why I make the first city block compact, but still modular enough that it can get something going. And sure, everything we build here is going to be too small, like the power plant, the rocket launching, the lithium, the fuel production. Everything is going to be too small, but it gets going, and I'm using the space efficiently. So now I can say, I got fuel, I got lithium. The reason why I want lithium plate is because then I can make these myself. This is really the only reason why this is here. This is not sort of for a future build, but this is to have something so I can continue to build. And also maybe even start the foundation build, but I don't know. That's later on. So from here on, it'll be the next city block will be foundations, quantum processors, cryogenics, and the hot and cold fluoroketone. That's things in the next city block, which I think makes sense. To wonder a big part of the map to get enough for the first block. Yes, exactly. And that's the thing. So you get the first block down, and the first thing you got to do is maybe just build the overall infrastructure or sort of the power poles and stuff like that, the robot ports. Get this one going, and then start in this corner, and then go like, okay, now up and running. Let's go. We don't have solar panels inside this block. There's no room for it, to be honest. I can put a few in here. No, I can't. Well, there you have it. So, I could be like really... Yeah, oh, wow. Just fits. But no. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the reason why I'm making it too clumped up in here, is because then I can actually get this going, and then you get it going, get there, and then I can start building the next, because hey, look at that, I already have some. And well, I just deleted it not long ago. Yeah, so then I can make the next split block where I can then start expanding. Yeah. In the bus, no. I don't like the idea of doing this kind of thing here. It is this for me is sort of destroying the look too much. Welcome to do it, but I'm gonna pass on it. Do like this. That's a only thing that's decent size we can get in, if that's most important. There. You only need some kickstart things, and when things break, then I need to get them back online. And solar panels can also be built on ice. What? Brash ice. Cannot build on brash ice. I've never seen that before. Brash? What the hell is brash ice? Never heard that word before. Brash? Why not thin ice or what? Brash? Interesting. We just learned a new word. Don't know what it means, but it's a new word. And can be done. Yeah. So I think we're going to be wrapping this one up here and just saying this is the design. I'm happy that I redesigned it. It's looking much nicer now. Like this stem of heating is also really nice, and it has ways to delete itself or by itself. So that's also very nice. Oops. Yeah. So this I think is a really neat design. I don't think there's any specific problems with it, but maybe we'll see. 605, yeah. Hey, Mr. Suspenders, thank you for the many years of efficient goodness. Thank you. Well, we're going to continue this on, next Sunday. And maybe means something that's cocky, arrogant. I know what brash means, but in the context of ice, I have never heard the term brash in terms of ice. Should solid fuel be output for heating purposes? No, I don't want to do that. I know that there is something here that could be used, but I don't think so. Well, maybe. I don't know. The ice has a huge ego, yes. Brash ice consists of small floating fragments of sea or river ice, typically less than 2 meters across, that are the result of broken up ice floes and collapsed ice. Is an accumulation of floating ice made up of fragments not more than 2 meters across. Okay. Yeah, so you can't build on that, even though it doesn't look like brash ice. Yes. Never heard of that before. No, but we learned something new. We learned something new when playing Factorio, apparently brash ice. And you bet you're going to hear that word in the next week or so, and I go like, why is it always twice? Because random. So, yeah, next week I am planning Monday and Wednesday, maybe a bonus stream here and there. And those will be Aquilo. My hands, they hurt. And then if there's a bonus stream, we'll see what we go in there. And we'll continue with Aquilo on next Sunday. So thank you very much for watching. And I think I'll be, I'm trying to make a channel update. Maybe tomorrow, maybe at Tuesday. To sort of what we talked about in the beginner stream, but I'm not sure anyone remembers it. I will also upload this one to the Patreon supporters. I'll do that immediately so that everyone can get it if you are interested. Masterclass. And so maybe someone wants to tinker with what I've built here, then and improve. Then it will just be uploaded in a sec. And scroll. MC31E3. Logical naming. Thank you very much for watching. Good night, everyone. Take care and stay effective.